what are the core elements that were missing that didn't allow us to do a 3G stack, but we, thanks to
So,
your efforts
so,
largely, we got to a
so
4G
what
stack?
happened is, the exponential, explosive growth in technology, both in terms of the electronics, the semiconductors, and in terms of the complex systems, happened in the 90s and 2000, and we were late. Right, as I told you, we started all this very late, so we missed the bus. So getting onto a bus late is very hard. So basically, subsequent to the capacity build up in the country, the barrier to entry is simply late arrival. It is not knowledge. All the barriers we've been fighting since then have been coming into a mature global industry in a very late. And the difference, we did that in automotive also. We came very late because
Yes.
India had these three cars for decades, and then you had. But the difference is the sheer bulk of a car and the logistical uh, disadvantage, especially at the lower price end of the imports, because the prices go up when you have to bring a 1,000 kilo to 1,500 kilo, something from somewhere, especially from a wealthier country where everything costs more to do. You have an advantage even in those companies automatically coming here and setting up factories and so on. So you could get the auto industry sort of localized a little faster and better. Electronics is not like that. And
And also the half-life problem that you
Yeah,
talked about
so everything
adds to
changes.
it.
So the cell phone, the smartphone today has about 1/10 the number of parts of a car. A car typically has 25-30,000 parts, and a smartphone has 2,500 to 3,000 parts. Uh, a smartphone may even, somewhat premium smartphone may even cost about 1/10 or 1/15 of a small car. But the point is, the smartphone weighs only 1,000th or less, 1/10,000th of a car. It's tiny, and the half life of components in it is very small. So the manufacturing of a smartphone or a laptop or a tablet can be done pretty much anywhere in the world with no logistical implications. Not It can even be done at multiple places. It could even be shipped partly and finished at some other place. It doesn't matter because these are all very small, very light things. One plane load would be worth so much. So basically, with that disadvantage and the speed at which technology is changing, it's very difficult for a late entrant. Very, very difficult. So, and then the WTO regulations also were brought in, which favored this kind of global manufacturing. So, the late 90s and early post this century, the difficulty that India has had in entering these fields, whether it's semiconductors, whether it's electronics manufacturing, has been compared to say automotive or anything else, has been that the late entry part. Now it's not the lack of knowledge. Well, in semiconductors, you might say there may be some lack of knowledge in the manufacturing processes. It's very sophisticated, but electronics, it's not that. The rest of electronics, it's today. I don't think there's anything we can say that we don't know what's to be done. It's just that even if you know what's to be done, how do you now become competitive? How do you enter late? Okay. So to give an example, there are new technologies coming in these fields all the time. So now you have new technologies like gallium nitride semiconductors. You have technologies like silicon photonics. These are all very nascent stage. So these are areas where if you uh, participate at the state of the art along with the rest of the world now and enter, you'll be able to. And in fact, there are efforts in India in these things which are at par with the rest of the world. And if we have enough the required level of business risk taking ability, we can also, because you are entering at the ground floor.
Right. And also there's a physical manufacturing aspect and a physical product, but there is a very intensive and component of intellectual property in there, where again the late entrant disadvantage plays a role, but presumably one that we've now overcome over some, with concerted effort.